What does teletherapy look like in this setting? This is at least how it works for me right now. I don't know if this is going to be the same for whatever state you're in, but um, insurance companies at this point, some of them have said, go ahead and just do teletherapy and bill it as if it's an office. But the way it works, if you're going to reach out to somebody, Llama, is obviously you're going to ask, do you do teletherapy? They're going to say yes. If they do, the therapist will tell you what program they're using to deliver their teletherapy services. Some therapists have their own electronic health record system that has a built-in like platform for them to be able to do video sessions. Some use the HIPAA compliant version of Zoom. Some use a program such as like Doxy.me, but the therapist should do it on a HIPAA compliant platform, obviously. But it works kind of like any other therapy session, except for the fact that your waiting room is basically your living room.
You're going to love
or your bedroom or wherever you're going to do therapy. And what happens is, the way that I do it is, the person will sign the paperwork and they will send it to me electronically. So I have the service agreement. They'll send it to you that way. You send it back. It's signed. You set up a time for you to meet digitally. And then the therapist will give you the instructions for how to get set up for your teletherapy session. I recommend going somewhere in your house where you've got good Wi-Fi or as good of a connection as you can have. So what I do is I send my clients a link via email that when they click, it will pull them into the meeting. And I usually send that link to them 1 or 2 minutes before the actual session start time at the top of the hour. And then what happens is I'm sitting there kind of like this, and then they pop in, and then the session starts. So it's just like a video session where you might talk to a family member on like Skype or something, but it's like this. And so usually it goes like any other session. How are you doing? Now, first session is going to be a little bit different because I have to do a bit of an assessment. So I might ask kind of, what is it that you're hoping to talk about? What are you hoping to get out of this? How do you feel about doing it digitally? The therapist will also have some instructions for what to do if the internet connection happens to be really crappy. That gets dicey sometimes, because if the internet is bad because of something that's happening on my end, then that affects maybe whether I'm going to have to charge for the session or not. Whereas if you have electronic issues, the therapist may have to bill you for it. Those are some of the gray areas of this right now. But that's basically how it works. And the session goes for the same amount of time, 50 minutes, schedule at the end the next session, and then you end the call, and then that's it. Therapist goes and does the case notes, you go about your day. In some ways, it's actually pretty convenient because you get to just be in your pajamas or whatever while you do therapy, and you don't have to go anywhere. It's pretty nice. What's going to likely have to happen is that you'll have to see a therapist who's licensed in the state that you have a permanent address in. In Illinois, that's how it works. I could be anywhere, you could be anywhere, but you have to have a permanent address in Illinois where I have a license, and then I can do teletherapy with you, that kind of thing. And then billing is usually going to be done through an electronic health record. So, like all of my billing I do is automated through the electronic health record that I use.